everybody, welcome back to the channel. Kyle here with Family Firearm Reviews. Today we have the Glock 19X, and this is the one that Glock put up for the military contract. Now with that, I also have my regular Gen 5 Glock 19. So we're going to compare and contrast the two, see what's different with the features, what comes out of the box, what upgrades you get with the Glock 19X versus the regular Glock 19 Gen 5. So with that, let's get right down into the numbers on the Glock 19X. So on our Glock 19X, it does come with a standard 4.02 inch barrel. Now we did upgrade that to a 4.5 inch barrel. It is a GGP, so a Ghost Grade Precision threaded barrel. So we could run a suppressor on this at some point. That's kind of the road we were going to take. Now, with an overall length of 7.44 inches, we have an overall height. We have to include that lanyard loop of 5.47 inches, an overall width of 1.3 inches, and we're running around a 24.83 ounce weight with this when it is empty. So it'll change depending on the mags we run in it. Now, we do have a 6.5 pound trigger pull on this firearm, and then you can see right here, we do have that bladed safety, no external safety. So we pull that trigger. A nice short reset, is very tactile. You can hear it very well, which is good. That's something we want, and we can get right back on that trigger when we are firing. We do have our ambi controls, and with that, we're going to get into the features. With the Glock, you still get some modularity. You can drop out the triggers. A lot of the same parts are going to fit. But what you have here is we're running the Glock 19 slide basically with a Glock 17 lower, so you've got a larger grip, a little bit more purchase on that firearm, but you do have that shorter sight radius. This does come with metal night sights right out of the box, so it is an upgrade from my Glock 19 Gen 5 that has the plastic, just regular U sights on there that are not night sights. It does still have the ambidextrous slide stop, slide release on the firearm, which we do have here on the 19X as well. We do have the flat slide right here, or the flat sight right here, so we could rack this against our belt, boot, whatever we have, and it's meant to be in that combat situation. We do have that lanyard loop, and then the other grip modules will fit from the Glock 17, so it does come with all those if you need to make the grip wider or shorter, just like our regular Glock 19 Gen 5. You can see we have all these different pieces here to make the grip a little different. Now, what is a little different is the mag release. So this is a bit more of a squared off mag release, where the Glock 19 has a little bit more of a rounded edge, and it doesn't run the texture all the way to the edge. So you do lose a little bit of texture on your mag release on the Glock 19X. So that was something I wasn't, kind of expecting. Now you do just have those rear slide serrations. You don't have any front ones for press checks, but you can grab this. It has a nice kind of sticky finish. It's not kind of as smooth as the regular finish. It's a little bit harder for me to grip this. My hand slides a little bit more before I can get some good purchase. But we do have those rear slide serrations, and they seem to be a little deeper, a little bit easier to grip on this 19X. So that's something you're going to get. Now the triggers are a little different too. This one does have a 6.5 pound trigger, and when I ran the trigger gauge on this a few times, I have like a 6.75 pound trigger, so about a quarter pound heavier on my Glock 19 Gen 5. So with that, we've got to have the mag capacity, right? So we have the 17 round mags that came with the firearm. They have that nice little base plate, so you can strip them in the event of an emergency or that it won't come out. Now, the 15 round mags that'll fit in the regular 19 don't work in here, right? It won't snip, it won't catch, so you won't be able to run the 15 round magazines for your Glock 19 in the 19X, but you can reversely run them in the Glock 19 from the Glock 19X. So that's something you can get when you're there. We do have the standard pick rail. As you can see, they're pretty much the same pick rail. We have the one slot in the front, so you can run a light or a laser on the firearm. That's pretty standard with these. We have the same Glock takedown, the same Glock blade safety on the trigger, so it is a fairly comfortable firearm, a nice flared out mag well, as you can see here. But in this one, we do have that little hole in the rear where the lanyard loop kind of fills that up, so it's easier to funnel in the magazine, where in the back with the Glock 19, you may have an issue when you hit this, right, getting it in there. They do make little stops that go in this firearm, so you can get something like that to stop that from happening and make it a little bit easier for you to funnel the mags up in there. Now, I'm really excited to get these out, kind of run through this Glock 19X. I've been trying to get one of these for a while. It does have good undercut, has that typical Glock stippling all around. Again, you have a nice little groove here to lay your finger, but no little textures for your fingers. You can ride that slide stop like a gas pedal. It sticks out just about the same. You can get upgraded pieces for these though. That's the modularity of these nice pieces of equipment here. So the ammo we're going to run today, we're going to run 50 rounds of our Winchester White Box. We're going to run the other half of this heaters or herders. And then we've got some Freedom munitions. These are, I believe, 147 grain. These are reloads. So we'll see how they are. We actually got these for a pretty good price. A little bit heavier ammo. We wanted to get some. Ran out of the other kind we had. What did we have before? I can't remember. We had some remanufactured ammo. I just can't remember the name of it. But it was pretty dirty. So we'll see if Freedom's a little bit cleaner and give you our opinion of that ammo too while we're running through. Now I did throw my Surefire light on here. Fits on there. It's my quick disconnect. Nice and easy. I usually have that on the M18, which we're going to do a video on later. Compare and contrast some stuff like that. We're going to run all the mags through, get our 150 rounds through, and see how it does with and without the light. All right, so let's get out there. Let's get to shooting. So we're out here, we're going to take our first 3 shots just to see where we're at. Got a target 15 yards. Mag goes in nice and easy. Try out this new barrel, see how everything goes.
Not so shabby.
Can't complain with that. Nice and accurate. Finished that one out on the paper. The mag ran great. Lauren and I both took our accuracy shots, so I'll give you a shot of that. Now we're going to start shooting around with the steel. One thing I do notice with this is a very tight tolerance between the rear sight and the front sight. There's not a lot of play side to side, so this rear gap is very, very, very tight. So you got to get it right on there, but it helps with accuracy. I mean, that was a great 17 rounds. This gun feels really good, shoots very well, recoil feels good. Somebody yank the light off and shoot without the light now, because that guy's going to help with my recoil. So let's keep going. So now we're out here with the 147 Freedom. We ran the Winchester White Box first, so we're going to see how this 147 feels. Drop that flashlight, so you know the heavier bullet should be a little bit nicer than this. Man, this gun really runs. I mean, that extra grip right there with that 17 lower really feels good with that 19 slide. I mean, it is built a little backwards for concealed carry, but other than that, it feels really comfortable in the hand. Oh, I think that was ammo related. Did have one, probably light primer strike. We'll check that at the end here. Slide release felt good. man, this thing just runs. Let me grab that round real quick. We did have a light primer strike, but this is that remanufactured Freedom munitions we just got. So maybe I'll throw that at another string, see if it works, but right now it's one light primer strike. But again, remanufactured ammo, you're gonna run into that. Man, this Freedom munitions is really getting me.
So much fun.
Now, we ended out the day with that Winchester white box. We're gonna get our final thoughts on our first shots on the Glock 19X. This is a lot of fun out here with this little puppy. So, let's get to the table. So, we just finished up with the Glock 19X. Both of us had a good time shooting it. It definitely is a fun gun. I like the extended grip here, a little bit more than my Glock 19. I mean, it is very comfortable, very ergonomic. Get your hand right in there, get a nice high cut. And it is the Glock we know and love, but it does have that tight, trigger right here. That trigger guard is very tight when you get your finger in there. So if you got big hands, this may not be the one for you. We ran it with our light. It ran good with and without. This is just going to help with muzzle flip, especially at night. We do like to have lights and lasers on our firearms, especially the ones we keep around the house. Now the metal sights were very nice, and the tolerance on those sights is very tight. I didn't have a problem picking them up. They're actually a lot nicer than the U that I usually get with the standard Glock sights. They were pretty comfortable. What did you think?
So I really enjoyed shooting the gun. I had a lot of fun with it. It's the size of gun that I typically enjoy shooting. I think the only downside for me is that I can't rack it. So out at the range and when we're shooting together, I can have a lot of fun with it, but it's never something that I could rely on for myself because I'm not going to be able to operate it in any emergency combat, any kind of situation where you need to be able to rely on that firearm. Unfortunately, I can't have that relationship with this, but out here on the range, just shooting around for fun, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's definitely a vast improvement with the sights. The barrel, I mean, we do have that threaded match grade barrel in there. We really just wanted the threaded barrel for the future, so we threw that in there. The ambidextrous slide stop, slide release worked well. I did racking the slide and use the slide stop, slide release. I know some of you are going to say, don't do that. Well, in a real life situation, you're going to do that. You're going to hit that with your thumb. You're not always going to reach up and rack it. So I want to make sure that it's going to work like that. Good for a home defense gun. Good for an all-around range gun. I think that I'd stick with my regular Glock 19 to carry, though, just to give me a smaller imprint. And I know that I have 15 rounds versus the 17 I get with this. But, those 17 rounds, it does have the extended base plates with the mags that come with it. But you can get the flush 17 rounders that fit perfectly in this firearm to make it a little bit smaller for concealed carry. But I think this is going to be a great range gun for us. I think I'm going to try to run this through an IDPA shoot.
gonna say, even especially for a shoot for reliability, I mean, we put random ammos through it, and it had what, one light primer strike. It did not give us too much trouble. It got all gunked up, and it just kept cycling. So I mean, a really reliable firearm.
Yeah, we did. We had one light primer strike with the Freedom's munitions. So this is remanufactured ammo. I actually tried to run this one twice, no issue. I had another one that had a light primer strike, same thing, Freedom munitions, and it did go off the second time. So I wouldn't rely on this for any situation other than training, right? That's my first take. You know, we get 50 rounds and I get 2 light primer strikes, but we had no problems with the Winchester white box or the Herders, right? Those 50 rounds out of each of that box ran great. The light fits on there perfectly. You know, you can see it fits good with the edge of the firearm. And it's easy to reach when you have it. You know, the light laser, you can activate it like that, whatever you're going to put on your firearm. I didn't really notice any difference in the mag release, and I know this one's a little bit more rounded, less squared off than my 19 when we compared. And we're going to do a tabletop comparison of this too, so be on the lookout for that. So if you like this, let us know. There are some links down below. Go ahead, check them out, and we appreciate your time. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from Family Firearm Reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the links in the description.